Hi everybody, this is Rox Talks, and today I'm going to talk to you about becoming unstuck from situations that are not going the way you want, or you're just not making progress. And here are 3 principles that I learned from a situation that I'm going to tell you about, a little story. When we were in Mongolia, we lived in a small apartment on the 5th floor with no elevator, 500 square feet, 1 bathroom, 6 people, and 1 dog. And everything was just fine with that until we joined the homeschool co-op, and it was too far and too dangerous to walk, and taking a taxi was actually kind of dangerous too. So I started praying, and I was like, Lord, please let us get a place to live near the homeschool co-op. And I really felt like God was saying no. And he gave me a Bible verse that says, "He who brings trouble to his family will inherit only wind." And I thought, oh Lord, this cannot be about my situation. I'm not bringing trouble to my family by letting them get closer. I'm actually going to make them safer. But I really felt like he was saying no. And the timing was not right. Eventually he did let us move. But at that time, self-will and everything won, and I went ahead and started looking. Well, I wanted my husband to see this one place that I had looked at, and so we took a realtor with us, and he was Mongolian, and it was a good thing we had him. And we got an elevator, 6 of us. Actually, it was 7 of us because of our friend, and the elevator was the size of a refrigerator. Well, we were going up to the 8th floor, and we got stuck. The power went out, the lights went off, and the elevator didn't move anymore. And we were kind of stuck between 2 floors, so the door wouldn't open, and there was like a floor in front of us. So the things that I learned from that situation, I'm going to share with you today. The first is, when you're stuck, communicate. We had to bang on the door, yell for help. There was no fancy little digital intercom that we could use. And finally someone came, they heard us calling, and they said, oh, the reason that the elevator stopped is because you have too many people in there. And that's kind of typical for other places besides the United States, that you usually get blamed for what you've done. And so we were getting blamed for being stuck. And that's fine. I mean, maybe we did have too many people in there. Maybe it was too heavy, we exceeded the weight limit. But I thought about Bible verses and Bible books like Job, where his friends came and actually blamed him for the situation that he was in. But even if people do that to us, we have to continue to communicate our places where we're stuck. Maybe they're right. Maybe there are places where we need to improve so that we can grow and develop. But just to receive that and allow them to minister in the way that they think that they can. And then maybe God will bring that back to their mind later in life. I remember when I was stuck with a season of depression, and people came to me, many Christians in the church, and said that I didn't have enough faith, that's why I wasn't healed. But I'm glad that I communicated my situation to them, because maybe when they go through it later, or a friend that they know, another friend, that will come back to them, and that will help them to minister, maybe bring more truth to their future situation. So continue to communicate when you feel stuck, even when people tell you it's all your fault. When you speak truth, it's going to help you. So these people, they were out there trying to find a solution, trying to figure out how to get us out of the elevator, because we continue to communicate. And don't forget to communicate with God. He is the one who can ultimately help us, and he's going to open those doors when it's time. And that brings me to my other point, which is waiting. We had to wait. Waiting is part of life, and it's not a fun thing, but it can be a time where we're learning to watch for signs and signals that God is moving. There's a Bible verse that says, "He who waits for the Lord will mount up on wings like eagles. He will run and not grow weary. He will walk and not faint." And I heard a pastor say that birds of prey actually wait for an updraft of wind to carry them, so that they don't have to flutter their wings too much and do so much flapping, and then they can fly better. And I thought about that in our lives. When we're waiting, we're looking for the signs that God is moving. We're not frantically flapping and frantically doing things that's wasting energy. We're waiting for the right time for God to move us, and we're staying in the Word because we don't trust our own heart. We don't trust our own way to solve the problem. We wait for God to do it, and when it's in line with His Word, we will know, and we will mount up on wings like eagles, and He will carry us without too much wasted energy. So we all waited. We waited there in the elevator. Some of us were a little more panicky than others, but we waited. And finally, the last point for becoming unstuck is turn on the power. That is actually what had happened. The power had gone out, and not only us, but some other people in the building were also stuck in the elevator. And when we are stuck, we need to connect with God. We need to be praying. We need to be in His Word. We need to be praising Him, because actually praising Him shows faith that we believe that He's going to deliver us from this situation. And I have one more example of this from Mongolia. They have two different kinds of buses. They have gas buses and electric buses there. And these trolley buses are connected by metal bars, two metal bars that stick up from the top of the bus, and they're connected to electric lines. But sometimes they become disconnected and then the bus can't go. And one pastor actually observed that it kind of looks like two arms up in praise connected to the power source. And when those arms become disconnected and we stop praising, then we lose our power. So stay connected with God. Lift your hands up. Praise, pray. He is ready to deliver you. Connect with the power. When you turn the power back on, doors are going to open. And He's going to deliver you. He's going to get you unstuck. So those are my 3 ways to become unstuck. Communicate, wait, and turn on the power. Stay in the Word.